the choreographer, Tam Warner, designed a dance sequence. We photographed that dance sequence on 35mm film, and we sent this raw 35mm footage to Sam Raimi, and Sam cut together the dance sequence. Basically, the scene was completely built in live action first. They sent me the cut footage, and then we went to work matching that basically frame by frame. And then I had a crew building the miniature set. The supervisor there was Jim Belohoveck.
When Doug Beswick called me up to work on Evil Dead 2, I had already worked on Aliens, The Thing, so my skills were starting to get more refined. My direct job when Doug Beswick hired me was to build what we call the cabin set. So I had to build this cabin and trees that, for an animation setup, were going to be a challenge, because if Doug would reach into the set, nothing could move.
The animation was very challenging because this was, actually trying to duplicate a performance. So it was a bit challenging in that respect, and it was all tabletop. So it's a pretty slow process. I would say I probably got maybe a frame every 5 minutes, That would be at the peak where you're working your fastest. So it's very slow and tedious. And there's no going back. If you make a mistake, you basically have to start over.
Looking back at working on Evil Dead 2 it was a good time, and it was a magical time working with animators who I wish we could have continued working on animated films like that.
In retrospect, I would say that it was one of the most interesting projects, fun projects to work on, because it seemed to have a real creative energy about it. With building everything was kind of hands-on back then.
I'd love to see stop-motion sequences back in features. It was fantastic, and it was not perfectly real, but it was wonderfully real, if you know what I mean. And those creatures, if you gave them the time and the import on the film, and didn't cut away to mechanicals and just let the animation creature be the star, I think they were very powerful.
I thought it was neat that it turned into a stop-motion film. I love stop-motion, and there's just something cool about the way it looks, and I think it works really well for fantasy, and would work well for Lovecraft and things like that. I'm also glad that I'm kind of the guy who introduced Sam Raimi to stop-motion animation, so I was very happy with that.
I remember thinking, God, this is like a remake of the first movie, but it's funny, like really funny. And I was like, was this supposed to be funny? Because everyone around me is laughing, and I'm kind of going, is this supposed to be like this?
As the movie started to roll, I was starting to become kind of appalled at what I had worked on, and my friend was laughing beside me, and I was getting a little irate. I thought he was making fun, and I said, why are you laughing at this picture? And he goes, don't you get it? And I go, no, I don't understand. He goes, it's a dark comedy.
The reactions to that movie are really special because they just don't know how to deal with it. Should I laugh? Should I scream? I don't know what to do.